Ms. Nobles, did Republicans on this committee, Ms. Nobles, Republicans on this committee or any of Republican staff exploit you in any way to come to today's hearing?
No, I am not being forced to be here. I am here because I want to be here and I want changes to be made, and I'm fighting for here for my daughter. And I can't speak for everyone else, but I'm sure the other witnesses weren't even forced to be here either, and they want to because they love their children.
In fact, my understanding is our Republican staff helped you get answers to the murder of your daughter that you didn't get from anywhere else. Our staff helped get that information by going to DHS.
You have, yeah, yes.
How about you, Ms. Morin? Did you feel exploited in any way? That's what the Democrats just said.
No, I don't feel exploited.
You're here to tell your story about what's going on out there. Ms. Nungary?
No, I do not feel exploited. I simply want to raise awareness that we need change, and my daughter's voice and her memory should not get lost in that.
Well said. Ms. Funder?
No, I don't feel exploited in any way. As a matter of fact, I find it very interesting that all 5 minutes for both of your testimonies on the left have not had any questions for us up here, but instead a speech. And I will tell you, I'm getting tired of hearing about the most comprehensive border bill, which did nothing for for American citizens. It gave visas to people who need to extend their visas, and it gave asylum to people coming over, and it did zero for an American citizen. And I would love somebody to answer to me what it actually did for American citizens. It did not do anything for an American citizen.
Ms. Aguirre? Ms. Aguirre?
It's insulting that you would say that to these families, that you would make an assumption that they're being used or exploited anyway. You know, what I will do is I'll give you my number. It's 281-673-0736, and I'd like a phone call from you to see what you can do to help these families, because every single week I get bombarded with calls from victims all over the United States, but I'm just a small person with a small foundation that helps people here locally in Houston and Harris County. Not one time when her daughter was murdered and I was helping her navigate the criminal justice system did one Democrat call me to offer their assistance. It was only Republicans, and I am an independent. I vote both ways. So it's insulting. No, please don't speak over me, because I'm still talking.
Okay.
I'm not done. I have the mic. I have the floor. I have the floor. If you want to answer me, you ask.
The chair has the time, and the witness is allowed to respond.
So I'm asking, you said some very broad statements. It's insulting. These people lost loved ones. They lost children. And we want to see a difference. We may not understand everything that's going on, but I assure you that we're not being used in any way. And if today somebody calls that number that wants to help from any side of the aisle, we want solutions.
That's what I just talked about.
I'm still talking. So please don't.
I just talked
don't
about.
make an assumption. Don't make an assumption that we're being used. That is insulting.
The time belongs to the chair. The chair
exploitive.
now yields.
Insulting.
The chair yields the remainder of his time to the gentleman from Texas.
I thank the witnesses. I thank the chairman. Ms. Nungare, your daughter was taken from you in June of 2024, this year, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
She was killed by two Venezuelan men who crossed into Texas in March and May of this year, correct?
That's correct.
Those two Venezuelan men that crossed into Texas were released by this administration into the community after crossing, correct?
That's correct.
Do you believe that your daughter would be here today if they had not been released into the United States?
I so heartedly believe that, yes.
Ms. Morin, your daughter was taken from you in August of 2023, correct?
Yes.
Killed by a man from El Salvador who crossed illegally and was a gotaway. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you believe your daughter would be here today if the current administration were not overwhelming border patrols such that we have 2 million known gotaways over the last 3 years?
I think that if we had the policies in place that we did a few years ago that vetted the immigrants that came in, that my daughter would still be here.
Ms. Nobles, your daughter was taken from you in July of 2022. Is that correct?
Yes.
By a 17-year-old from El Salvador who entered in March of 2022, just a few months before, correct?
Correct.
Was released into the country. Is that correct?
Correct.
Do you believe that your daughter would be here today if that individual had not been released into the country according to a mass release program that has been underway for the last 3 years?
Yes, she would be alive today if they would have made that one phone call to El Salvador to check, because he did have a criminal record in 2020 and gang-related tattoos.
I yield back.
Thank you.